Welcome back, class. So we were studying about the Fourier transform of the signals, and we completed the properties section of the Fourier transform. Okay, what are the different properties? What are the advantages? How we can use them to get the Fourier transform of the different kind of the functions. Now we are going to focus on the transfer function of the LTI system. We have briefly discussed this thing in the previous chapter. So let's review this again. So if you have an input, an LTI system have an impulse response of h of t, we know that the output will be the convolution of the input with the impulse response, right? That you are just trying to calculate that if you either shift in input or vice versa, you will get the, so by using convolution we can get the system response, output of the system. The convolution property we have studied. Okay, now if you just talk about the frequency domain, that if you calculate the Fourier transform of the input, you calculate the Fourier transform of the impulse response, you calculate the Fourier transform of the output. Okay, what is the convolution property? If they are convolving in time domain, their Fourier transform will be multiplying. Okay, so basically output is y of omega in frequency domain. Output is h of omega times x of omega, or h of omega will be y of omega divided by x of omega. So this is called frequency response of the system, okay, or transfer function of the system. Or frequency response of the system. So transfer function of the system is what? Ratio of the output over input. So what is the advantage? If you know the transfer function, if you know this thing, so whatever input you get, you can easily calculate its output, okay, in frequency domain. So once you know the output in frequency domain, okay, and you want to calculate the input in time domain, so what you can do, you can take the inverse Fourier transform. If you take the inverse Fourier transform, you can get the output in time domain. Okay, but if you dealt in frequency domain, your calculation will be much easier. You can get the response for any kind of the input if you just know the transfer function of the system. Okay, so here we will learn that now, that how we can actually calculate the transfer function of the system. Okay, for example, so we will try the different examples during the live session. Okay, but let me solve one quick example here to illustrate this concept of transfer function. Let's say I have a very simple this electric circuit network that only have resistor here. Okay, so this is my input. This could be of any kind, and I am measuring the output across the resistor, and the current which is flowing through this is I of t. Okay, so let's try to find the transfer function of this. Okay, so how we can find? We know that if you have input, if you take its Fourier transform, but if you look at input in frequency domain, right? Similarly, if you have output, if you take its Fourier transform, you will get the output in frequency domain. Okay, now let's see what is the output here. Here output is, this is resistor R, the current times the resistance value, right? V is equal to IR. Okay, now if you take the Fourier transform of this, so what is our equation here? Output is input current times resistance. If you take the Fourier transform of this, it will be V of omega. If you take the Fourier transform of current, it will be I of omega times R, right? So this is your output in frequency domain. What is the transfer function? We have just learned output over input. So output is this, and input is what? Vi of omega, right? Input is what? Vi of omega. Okay, so what is the output? I of omega into R. And what is input in this case? What is input? Input is also the same in this case. Input for this circuit, your input, so whatever you are getting at the input side, you are getting the same as the output. So basically here input and output are same. So input is also I of omega into R. So these are cancelled and your transfer function is 1. So for this circuit, your transfer function will be 1. Okay. Now for example, if you have this circuit, so this is your practice example, try, but we will solve this during the live session. If you have an inductor here, okay, the current I is flowing, you have input here, and you are trying to measure the output here, okay. So what will be the transfer function for this case? Okay, so try this, we will solve this during the live session. Another property of the Fourier transform is, okay, we have studied that for if we have the periodic signal, we calculate the Fourier series. If we have aperiodic signal, okay, we usually go for the Fourier transform. But if you want to calculate the Fourier transform of the periodic signal, then what we can do, okay, we know that if you have any function, okay, we can write its Fourier series, right? So this is the complex form of the Fourier series. For any function, we can write them in the form of the Fourier series, okay. So now if you have a periodic signal, okay, we know that the Fourier transform exists only for the aperiodic signal, So what will we do? Okay, we will take the aperiodic component of my periodic signal, okay. For example, let's say I have this waveforms, okay, which is just going on like this way, okay. So this is a periodic signal, okay. This is f of t is a periodic signal. Now to take the Fourier transform, what will I do? I will take the small part of this signal, okay, for example only this part, and I will refer this as g of t, okay. So I will take only this part, okay, which will be basically aperiodic, okay, and I will calculate the Fourier transform of this part only, okay. So for g of t, okay, I will get f of omega, okay, for that. Then basically what we can do, this is aperiodic part, so I can write my original function, okay, as a shifted version of this part, okay. For example, this is g of t, and this will be g of t minus t, and so on. So basically I can write my periodic function in the form of the aperiodic component. Okay. Now if you take the Fourier transform of this one, we can actually get the Fourier transform of that one. So in that case, the Fourier transform of this, it will be the Fourier transform of your original signal, like g of t. You get the Fourier transform of that. We will multiply with omega naught, and we will multiply with this impulse. Okay. So in this way, we can calculate the Fourier transform of the periodic signal. Okay. This is one example I will illustrate during the live session. So these are the common Fourier transform of the different signals. Okay. This is one last example that how by using the Fourier transform, okay, we can actually calculate the impulse response of this circuit. Okay, we have this circuit, we want to calculate impulse response. So what is the response if you have this input? What is the response if you have this input? Okay, we will solve this example during the live session. So that is the end of this chapter. Thank you very much for your time.